Clytus, I'm bored. What plaything can you offer me today?
An obscure body in the SK system, Your Majesty. The inhabitants refer to it as
the Hail Ming Power Hour.
Welcome back to another episode of Hail Ming Power Hour. What number is this, man?
Oh, geez. I don't think anybody looked at it. It's, what was it, 64? I think it's
63 or 64. We're getting senile in our old age. But yeah, anyways, regardless of what number it is, we want to welcome you back for just, thank you for hanging out with us for one thing. If you're not familiar with this show, then it's basically us just having fun and totally just dismembering the movies that we love. I don't know how else to describe it, but we have a lot of fun with it. And of course, you heard other people in the background. I've got myself, Rick. I'm one of your hosts, but also my partner in crime, my buddy that we've done this long road of 60, 70, 85 shows. We're not exactly sure. Mr. Danny Bennett. What is up, man?
That's right. We dismember movies. That's what we do. And it's what we're proud of. And it's what we do well. Welcome back, everybody. And I'm so glad to be on this show so that you can hear us talk about movies that we want you to see. How is everybody doing out there?
Or just to hear us talking, period.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're out there to hear us talking.
I need an audience.
And also the man who dismembers his own mama. Mr. Mark Allison, what is up, you crazy lunatic?
It is great to be here, dismembering away, and we're going to be watching a movie where a lot of people will be dismembered, so it's a theme we're running with here.
A lot of people are going to be dismembered. I was like, that's a little self-aware there.
Dismembers only.
Dismembers only.
Hail Ming.
Right off the bat. That's why he's on the show, folks. So yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about Critters from 1986, which arguably is one of the greatest years for movies, period. If you just pull up the year 1986 and just look at the behemoth pile of movies that came out that year, it's just incredible. But so we're picking Critters.
Yeah, we are. I was looking this movie up, and I kept seeing Billy Zane coming up on there, and normally I'm pretty quick to remember, Billy Zane was in it. I had not remembered that he was the boyfriend that gets all gnawed upon in the barn there.
Oh, hold on now. Save it for the show. Save it for the show. Yeah, we just got to see Billy Zane. We didn't go meet him, but he was definitely within our peripheral vision at Texas Frightmare. And come on, man. Can we even describe how cool Billy Zane was standing over in that scarf with the cowboy hat and the orange glasses?
That's what I was going to say. I reached out and tried to touch his scarf and hat and was summarily taken to the ground by one of the bodyguards.
You better listen to your friend Billy Zane there.
What was cool is he was just leaning up against this table and he was just like, "Hi, I'm Billy Zane."
Yeah, it was... I can't tell if I think he's just a good enough actor that I couldn't tell if he was acting or really happy to be there.
Yeah. But he looked super cool, man. He looked like Charles Nelson Riley cool. Just standing there like, yeah, hey, how's it going? Oh, so, yeah. So, yeah, man, we're going to talk about Critters. But before we do that, we're going to talk about what we always talk about at this point, which is, what did you watch? What did you watch? Did you watch Star match.
Am I the only one that plays along with the drums from the What Did You Watch?
No, man.
I mean,
I'm back here doing it too, man.
that is the most original song of any of the songs on our show because, you know, I mean, I think we wrote it and performed it, and it's 100% original, people.
Absolutely. Yep. No
So, yeah.
copyright infringement here.
I watched a series of movies for a filmmaker. He's foreign. I want to make sure I got his name right. His name is Amir Pontoonboat, and he wrote. You know, you might remember him from his early '80s. You know, kind of college romp movies. Party Barge at Large, The Panty Dropping Mystery at Sea. You remember that?
Yeah, I think I do.
I sure do.
Yeah. I mean, well, he got into the art, you know, the dramas lately, and he made the Unbearably Being a Likeness, and I don't know, I didn't get it, but
Is that the one where Burgess Meredith was working at IHOP? Is that one?
I think so. Yeah, Burgess Meredith and Meredith Baxter Burney, and they're working at IHOP, and I think it might be one of the reasons that IHOP is changing its name. Just to distance themselves from the Unbearably Being a Likeness. There's a mirror involved. Somebody's doing a pancake competition. I don't know, but I heard that the studio has contracted him to make a follow-up for Party Barge at Large, and he might have to back off from the drama, and they're going to make Party Barge 2 if this boat's a rockin'. Anyway, you know, Amir Pontoonboat, I think he's Indian, maybe?
The pontoon boat's in Indian?
Amir Pontoonboat? Yeah, that's I think that's
okay.
It's an Indian name.
Gotcha.
Isn't it? No, not the Party Barge. That's more like a barge.
Oh.
It's like a whole boat.
It's like the Elder barge, right?
Right. L brackets.
Anywho, where did you see that at?
Well, you know, I watched it on Amazon Drop-Off, which is kind of like Amazon Prime, only it's all the movies that begged Amazon Prime to have them, and they said no. And then, and so they've got Amazon Drop-Off, which is free, and you have to get it BitTorrent, and it usually lays viruses on your computer.
And it even says, you know, Amazon Drop-Off. These are free because they should be.
Yeah, it says something about it, you know, not being liable for any damage that occurs to your, you know, streaming formats, and it says something good luck.
So people take your own risk if you're wanting to see the
Unbearably Being a Likeness, and Amazon Drop-Off. Their slogan is good luck.
All right, Mark, what'd you watch, man?
Well, Danny let me borrow his Amazon drop-off subscription there, and yeah, I'm still getting my computer working right, but I did.
Welcome.
Just a note to everybody out there, we don't do anything illegally on this show. When he says borrow his Dropbox, I mean, you know, he actually went over and watched it on his TV.
That's right.
Yeah, that I actually, you know, physically borrowed it. I took it home with me and then brought it back to him. So.
Actually, Amazon Drop-Off is one of the few streaming services that encourages people to steal it.
Well,
You were saying, Mark?
so yeah, I saw a drama on there. Is set in a boxing world. It's about a gay couple, one of who is the world heavyweight champion, who's played by Tiny Lister, and he refuses to retire from boxing, and doesn't want anyone to realize that he's gay, so he's trying to cover that up, but it's causing real problems at home with his husband, who's played by Ving Rhames. So Ving decides to enter into the world of boxing as well, and challenges him for the title, because he figures the only way to save his marriage is to literally beat it into his husband there. It's they call it a mix between Brokeback Mountain meets Rocky. It's called No Glove, No Love. So
He's gonna muddy you, Rock.
oh no, that was Danny's movie. It was like pick up your bum. So
Make those pancakes, you bum.
Pick up your bum and beat it into your boyfriend.
My movie was more.
Your movie was more something.
My movie was more. I love you, fool, but I'm gonna beat you down.
Oh wow! Did you actually get Zeus Lister to come in and say? Was that him?
I think that was Ming.
Just like him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
I meant.
Zeus sounds the same, but the vision goes like each direction. So.
But his eyebrow doesn't, so just aim at the middle.
Exactly.
And why the
All right,
hell
well,
is it eating up all the satellites?
Oh, where are we going with this? This is awesome.
I think we watched something.
Yeah, I think that was the point of that.
So I actually watched a real movie.
Oh, wow.
I thought I'd just go ahead and bring this up, but I watched the newest Hellraiser movie, the Hellraiser Judgment, and not that I'm recommending it,
Was
but
it
you
like-
can tell that
Was it like Strangeland? It looked like Strangeland.
it's really more like Seven. And
Okay.
So what's going on with the Hellraiser series is obviously Dimension is buying all these scripts, and they just decide that somewhere in this script we got to stick, Pinhead in this somewhere. That's all they're doing because they are not Hellraiser movies at all.
It's
And
kind of
just
like
at the end.
that
the end,
Cloverfield paradox thing. It's like we have this movie here.
Yeah.
Let's just slap Cloverfield on it.
Right. But yeah, man, so and the other thing is they've got John Cleese playing Pinhead, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know.
And every time I murder you, I'll go, boing!
Are you insinuating that our movies weren't real?
No.
Because you said you watched a real movie. But then you said John Cleese played Pinhead. So I don't know what to think.
A hand on one, a fist in the other, something like that.
No, that was Mark's movie.
Right. Dang it. All right, folks, we better get out of here before we get in a tailspin. That's it for What Did You Watch? Oh, play those drums, boy. Did you watch Oh, yeah, we're going to take a little stroll break. We're going to be right back after this with some critters.
The Hail Ming Power Hour is brought to you by Deep Fried Critter Fritters, the only fritters that bite back, a Hungry Heifer exclusive, and loyal subjects of Mongo like you. Hail Ming!
All right, everybody, you know what time it is. It's time to take the time machine and go back to 1986. But before we do that, in order to pay the bills and order us another package of Rolos, we have to do our sponsors. So let's see who our lovely sponsors are this week. Mark, we got sponsors?
We got sponsors. My first sponsor is a little company called Love Pigs. It's romantic pork product baskets. This Valentine's Day, don't give candy. Don't give flowers. Pork the one you love.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
I thought when we took a break, we kind of reset everything, but nope, we're right back where we were.
Well played,
All right,
Mark.
pork the one you love. What else we got?
Well, I got another one here. This is Cologne by Summer's Eve. Smell like the man she expects you to be. Smell like a douche.
Oh.
Two hams will fill him. 2 hams will fill him. Why don't you feed him 2 hams?
Okay. I actually got one by a real person.
Are you suggesting
do that
mine weren't
again?
real?
Are you suggesting our other stuff is not real? You're breaking the wall, man.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. But yeah, man, I'm super excited about this one because we got the one and only from Smokey Robinson and whatever his band was, the Miracles or whatever. we got Smokey Robinson, smokeless ashtrays, where the motto is no smoke, no joke. Smokey Robinson, smokeless ashtrays.
And possibly the
Daddy,
Miracles.
what you got?
Man, I got
Yeah,
nothing.
that's it. I messed up, man. The slogan is "It's a miracle."
My sponsorship is brought to you this week by Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson products for real people who really need real help. Family owned.
All right. If it's physically possible, it's time for us to jump into the time machine and go back to 1986. Here we go. Oh, you're killing me.
Hey, watch the elbows, man.
Oh, I spilled my Miracle Wolf.
Oh, it's all over the scene.
Miracle Wolf. It's easy to spread.
Yeah, spread all over my pants. And I don't
Hey,
want-
look.
Ah,
Hey, it's,
What?
it's 1986.
hey, it's 1986.
Hey, we've been here before.
The only last time
Is
I
it-
was 12.
Maybe we should work out something with the time chicken because every time we come back, we just come back to the same spot.
Yeah,
It's like exactly the same people passing by. It's like Groundhog's Day.
yeah, it is kind of like Groundhog Day, except it's always a different time, and we never really spend the whole day here. We just watch a movie and go
Look over
home.
there. Hey, lady with the bigger head hat. Yeah.
Didn't we just leave this place? I think we disappeared and then came right back to the exact same spot.
I think so too.
I think the people need to know where the time chicken came from. So we need to do a special about his coop and the abusive farmer that left him codependent on agriculture. We need
He had
people
a
need
rough
to know
life.
this stuff.
Yeah, he had a rough life. And that's the reason he doesn't do a lot of public appearances. I mean, he'll show up at a cockfight, but that's different, I guess.
Hey, who won't, right?
But do what?
Well, who won't show up at a cockfight is what I'm saying.
Well, he's got to support his people there.
That's right.
And every once in a while, you just got to smack him in the back of his chicken head and be like, "Why you so fat? Why you so fat?" That kind of thing.
Hail Ming.
He's going to get on
Okay.
to us.
We've got to talk about this movie. It's gonna be the Hell Ming 2 hour power. By
By the time you get that out, anyway.
right. So we got a synopsis and today's synopsis.
Today's Shopkins brought to you by Synopsins.
By Sean Connery.
It's the ever popular The Weasel, Polly Shore.
Hey, buddy, it's the Weasel. I'm here to tell you about some fuzzballs munching on some grindage. Hey, who are you, buddy? What's with the gnarly getup? Evil takes all forms, whether they be demonic hedgehogs from beyond the veil of night, or an annoying big-mouthed dandy who exposes himself to too much Chinese herb. But rest assured, I, Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter, shall be there to destroy the scourge of evil. Critters was released in the year of our Lord, 1986. It features Dee Wallace, M. Emmett Walsh, and Billy Zane.
Wow.
So, folks, come on. Let's be realistic here. Where else? What other show can you listen to hear Polly Shore get beat up by Captain Kronos?
Man, we probably
That's
need
right.
to do
You have
Captain
no
Kronos
answer for me.
again.
That's right.
I think we need to do Captain Kronos again.
I got a feeling
Hey,
he'll make
sure.
a comeback there.
I mean,
what about
'cause Rick
Captain
wasn't
Kronos
there.
Part 2? Captain Kronos Part 2.
Hey, how did that survey actually end up working out? Like, we never finished that. I'll have to go back.
Yeah, we're bad about that. Yeah, so all the fans that voted for us to do another farcical, yeah, we forgot what it was.
Well, we'll go back and do it. We just haven't done the farcical yet, so we're still not technically overdue. We just haven't done it.
That was it, folks. That voting, that was the farcical.
That was the farcical. Yes, folks, the wheels are flying off the wheelless time machine right here.
April Fools.
All right,
It was in May.
let's get into this. Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Hey, Rick,
Mr. Calendar
what is your
Dude.
first reason?
Yes.
What is your first reason to watch 1986 Critters?
This is going out on a great big stretch for this, but I really have to go for. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff in this movie, a lot of fun, a lot of just super 80s feel, but I really have to go for that gourd-headed floating alien at the beginning. Man, the Phantom Menace ripped this movie off. That's all I got to say about this. This movie is an originator, and you didn't even know it. Big gourd-headed flying dude on a little platform floating around like he's some Yoda or something pushing buttons. Yeah, that's the reason to watch Critters, yo.
Yeah.
I love
right.
that guy too because I think he might be psychic because at the beginning of the movie the aliens are getting ready to escape from space prison, but there's no indication that they're getting ready to, and he just says, the Krites are up to something. How do you know? It's that big head.
I think he also tells. I think he tells the bounty hunters that I have a job for you, and he never even moves his mouth.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I think that's the same guy that like enlisted the Power Rangers, isn't it?
You will be. You will be the Black Ranger.
So,
All
Mark,
right, that's my pick.
Mark, what is your next reason? Your first reason?
My
to watch?
first reason would have to be how well developed the aliens are. We covered floaty giant head man there. But, just the critters themselves, they're known as the Krites on their world, and when they get to Earth, they're just critters. But a lot of thought went behind them, because you got to take these little tiny characters, no bigger than, let's say, a hedgehog or so, and try to turn it into
No bigger than a squirrel.
try to turn it into something really scary. And so you like make them into these little piranha characters, but they're not very physically threatening, so they use these little harpoons in the back of their necks to stun their victims and then eat them while they're down. They can't run fast, so they roll up in little balls and just take off that way. And so a lot of thought went into making this basically a hand puppet, very scary monster there.
Yeah, and they shoot
You
their
were right
quills.
on it, man.
The quills have like a sedative on them. I mean, they're efficient predators for what they are. They're scary. They're land piranha, you know.
It's exactly what I had written down too. It's like, who would have thought that a hand puppet could be so effective? I mean, well, never mind.
That was a good one. All right,
All right, Danny.
all right. So you got Gourdhead, and then we've got the actual menace of the Krites. I agree, but I'm gonna have to say the best reason to watch this movie, in my opinion, is the garbage disposal segue. There's a deputy who gets attacked by the Krite, and it's and then it shifts right to Dee Wallace throwing something in the garbage disposal back in the kitchen. Great segue for a great movie. Congratulations. Woo!
Ric Flair approved.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Rick.
That brings it back to me. Well, you know what? Because this is in the movie nonstop, and you think I'm going to talk about Critters or maybe Billy Zane's hairdo, but no. I'm going to talk about Johnny Steele and his video.
Steele.
And the song that Johnny Steele sings about 20 times, which kind of goes like this.
Shadows calling, it's the power of the night. Streets are calling
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Man.
You know, for a made-up 80s pop song, it's actually pretty good.
It's as good as any Survivor song.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like you took Tim Curry and just put a big 80s hairdo on him, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, all joking aside, it's kind of what I like about this movie is that the aliens are pretty well developed, the main characters are pretty well developed, and the world they put them in, they have this hit song, and they didn't just get something for the soundtrack. They decided they would make that so that they could add it in later as one of the bounty hunters. You know, Johnny Steele's one of these guys. You know,
you mean this song?
Yeah. Wait, are the shadows calling and the streets are calling?
Well, yeah, man. You can't have one without the other.
Like you'd think the shadows would be like, I don't know. Does it all have to be calling?
Sure. Mark, it
What's
rhymes.
your next reason to watch Critters?
Okay, so my next reason, let's see, is that Brad, I guess the main character in it, the little kid in it,
Yeah.
he is a scary little bugger there, because he spends all of his time sitting in his room making explosives.
Yeah.
I remember watching it when I was a kid, just not thinking much about it. Going back and watching it now, I'm like, man, this kid needs therapy here.
You're like, man, this kid was watching The Gate.
There you go.
Or Phantasm.
And we're not just talking little firecrackers either. He destroys a spaceship with one of these things. He's been putting some work into it there.
But it is it's a spaceship for little things. So it's probably not all that big.
Because that is what we like. Little things hitting little things. Sorry, I time banded
I
it
thought we
there.
already talked about the cockfight. What? All right, so my next reason to watch it. No, it's not the power of the night. It's not the garbage disposal segue or even the bounty hunters. Actually, it is. It's the bounty hunters. Man, these guys.
Yeah.
There are two of them. Like these guys are moving the Krites from one place to another, right? And as soon as they get away, they're like, "Get me the bounty hunters." There are only these two guys. It's like, don't put a bounty on it and let all the bounty hunters like fight it out for these guys. No, just call these two guys. They might as well be like on the payroll. And they've got like these white glowing heads and they can like transform into whatever, form. And their names are Ugg and Lee.
Ugly, yeah.
Ugh,
Let that sink in.
That's just perfect there. What does this guy make you think of? Ugh.
So yeah, I mean, these two guys, they got cool outfits. They got these cool extension cannons that in this one they like blow a whole wall away, and in the second one they kind of like pinpoint like a fist-sized target, which I think is a downgrade. But either way, man, the bounty hunters continue through this whole series to be an up point. They're an awesome addition to the whole mythology of Critters.
Actually, earlier when I said Johnny Steele in the video thing, I left out a big part of that, and that's the transformation that's going on while the video's playing in the spaceship. Because, they can adapt to any face that they see. And this dude picks Johnny Steele, who's the singer in the band, and while he's singing on a video screen, you get this really cool transformation where, like, it just completely melts the glowing head away, and it's down to a skull, and you see blood and stuff rushing up. It's a really good effect. Yeah, and then you got the other one. The other one never can find the right face, and that's just this comical thing that goes on throughout it, which, you don't expect it to have that kind of humor in it, but it actually really works.
Yeah, the guy says, "Nothing likes me." That always stuck with me. I like that phrasing. It's almost like a form has to have some affinity for him that he can kind of share or something. I don't know. But he says that. And, of course, he transforms into a pinup in the next one. We'll get into the next one the next time. Yeah.
And I like how it took like so long for the Johnny Steele one to form, and the muscles form, and the skin forms over, and all that. And then what was the other one's name? Lee, was it?
Sure.
Yeah, he just he'll just look at something and then be like bzz, and turn into that person. I'm like, wow, you took no time at all there.
Yeah, they can only afford that one effect, in that one scene, really. And he transformed so many times they had to do it differently. But if you want to see that,
Right.
that muscle effect, like when we get back to work at Ajax, I can do that.
No thanks.
It smells really bad, but I can do it.
I can do it, but I can only do it once.
Rick, what is your
No,
next
it's Mark.
reason?
It's Mark.
Is it my turn? Okay.
No, Mark
Yeah,
went,
because
then I went, then you went.
you were just
I'm checking
elaborating on Danny's point.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, but it goes you and then Mark and then me. I've got it. I'm checking it.
Okay.
You, then Mark, then me.
So Mark went before me and said something, but we can go back to Mark. That's fine.
Okay, so
Started with me though.
I'll just say the next reason to watch this movie, the Billy Zane buffet. Billy Zane plays the boyfriend of the main family's daughter, the farmer's daughter, if you will, and she takes him out to the barn because they're going to fool around, and because it's a very romantic setting up in the hay with a little stereo playing there. And she tells him to turn some music on or something, so he reaches over to the radio, and the critter comes out, just bites his fingers right off, and then jumps into his stomach and just starts chewing away at him. And he's just holding this little furry puppet to his stomach, and but still, he sells it really well there.
Man, as a kid, that is what scared the hell out of me with these movies.
Yeah.
When it's up in their guts, and like there's something about them rooting around in the guts just made me go, this is the most frightening thing in the world. Like it really did stick with me.
He reaches up to the radio and it just takes his two middle fingers off.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you know what would have stopped him if when he got to the radio he played this.
Power of the night.
And since his two middle fingers are gone, he's already doing the rock and roll
Yeah,
sign
he's got
there.
the hand up. Yeah. While bleeding profusely.
Exactly.
I saw a review of this movie where somebody was like, and all the Krites had different personalities. So I was kind of looking for it, and that dude was wrong. I mean, they have more personality than I remember them being like mindless eating things. They talked and stuff, which I didn't remember, which is cool. But like it's not like I can pick one out from the other. One of them's not wearing a headband or something.
Well, I mean, if you name them like this, you got sarcastic one, you got cussing one, you got shoot 'em one, you got the toilet one. I mean, if you want to name them names like that, then
You got
fine.
the toilet one. Then you got the one that gets really big and just reaches its arm through the vent. Rah!
Or the one that picks up the little explosive and puts it in his mouth and just
Falls
blows up
over.
and just falls over.
Yeah,
That one's named Smokey.
I love the big one because there's no explanation why that's the only one that grew big. It's like,
Well, they're eating.
yeah, but they're
Like,
all
I guess he got more to eat.
they're all eating, but he's the only one who got man-sized there. It's just like,
He ate the most, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
He had a full course of Zane. All right, so who's next? I don't know now. I'll start over and we can go whatever we need to get in. So what? I'll
Okay.
go, then Rick, you go, and then we'll be back to Mark, and then me.
Okay.
Okay. So my next reason is so I just want to point out that this movie doesn't have stereotypical rednecks who are all too dumb to live. The dad's like, oh, look, this one of the herd has been destroyed. I don't want to see what did this. Let's go back and call the cops. He doesn't go, well, this is my cow. I need to. I mean, like, I love the fact that everybody is believably likable, and nobody's really there to be fodder. Even Billy Zane's kind of likable, except for the deputy. And I'm
Yeah.
going to say that right now, I've got a sound clip of the deputy flirting with and I think it's called "Flirting Deputy" is my sound clip number. And this guy's just hateable from the beginning, and he gets killed just at the right time, which is first.
This is GXP11908 Come in, Alpha Tango Delta. Over.
What is it, Jeff? Over.
Hey, Sal. Hey, how about we get some donuts and coffee after work, huh? Over.
Not tonight, Jeff. Not ever. Over.
I copy, Alpha Tango Delta. Over and out.
I mean, he's macking on her, and he's just this slime ball. Maybe that isn't the best. I mean, he doesn't last long enough to really have a lot, but you get from her response that he's just really always giving her a hard time, and then he gets ed up.
I always think of this as before Neelix served lunch on Voyager, he was lunch on Earth.
Oh, is that the same guy?
Same guy.
He looks better as a giraffe man. All right, so that was me. So we're back to Rick. What's your reason?
All right, well, yeah, Mark kind of brought up Billy Zane earlier, so I'm going with Billy Zane as well. I've got Billy Zane with hair. There's a reason to watch this movie. He's got the little ponytail in the back. He looks like he'd been on the set of the pirate movie.
Yeah, and he's wearing like an open shirt.
Yeah.
I can't not like that guy though.
It's Billy Zane, man.
I mean, I hope I was kind of hoping when we saw him in person that he would like come out and do the little hey to ho dance that he did in Demon Night.
Demon Night.
I hate all this Western hey to ho. Like I love that.
So yeah, man, Billy Zane with hair. It's worth checking out. So there you go. That's
All
my
right.
next reason.
Always a treat.
Mark, back to you.
Well, Rick kind of brought it up before, but I'm going to say for the best
Billy Zane.
the best monster death ever in a movie is when the little critter is like just ate Billy Zane. He's going to eat Brad's sister, and he takes one of his fireworks and throws it at him. Little monster picks it up, swallows it, and you expect in these kind of movies that thing's just going to explode. There's a pop, some smoke comes out of his mouth, and he just falls over dead. I'm like,
Yeah, I agree. I love it.
that was just perfect.
It's almost Tom and Jerry. It's like you expect to see his body expand out, but not explode.
Yeah,
you know,
like
just
his little cheeks and lips go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's good.
That's good stuff. So my next reason is the dad. I don't have his name, but the farmer guy, his bowling shirt, man, because it's a bowling pin in like the Ghostbusters null and void sign. It's like the Pin Busters. I love it.
Yep. I've got the Ghostbuster rip-off bowling shirts.
Yeah, that's a reason to watch it. Look for it. You know, dude's cool. Effects are great. Bowling pin shirt, man.
And not to mention, in the bowling alley later on, there's another group of shirts that are bright, sparkly orange, and they're called the Honey Boys.
Yeah.
Those are almost as ridiculous.
That's in the scene where Johnny Steele goes bowling, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Which we will get to. You were bringing up the dad a while ago, and I love the fact that you never even know the little boy's name till about, 45 minutes into it, because he goes, "Boy, get back upstairs." And he just calls him boy the whole time. Boy! It's like, what are you, the tall man all of a sudden?
Well, and I like that, that Dee Wallace, too, with him, he's like, "And no supper." And Dee Wallace is like, "Oh," and he's like, "Helen?" Like, it isn't stereotype that you really believe that this is a family and you really care about them. It kind of helps to make it a scarier movie because you want them to live. All right, Rick, it's back up to you.
Didn't I just do one?
You were talking because you brought up the Pin Busters and the Honey Boys after mine.
All right, what the heck?
Yeah.
Let's go with Charlie. I think Charlie is the next reason to watch this movie. The guy that thinks that aliens are talking through his teeth and he's drinking all the time. It's Don Keith Opper's his name. And he is Corman royalty. I wouldn't say royalty, but he really comes off the cuff of being like even assistant directors or assistant photographers for some of the movies that Corman did back in the day. So he kind of comes from that line of filmmaking, and it shows.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of like a cut rate drunk Jeffrey Combs.
Gene Hackman? Oh.
I was gonna say Jeffrey Combs. They're the same kind of like squirrely,
Yeah, I can kind of see that. Yeah.
sallow-faced
And this was
miscreant.
a time period where town drunks were funny, wacky people, and not people with debilitating diseases. Oh, we can have fun with this guy who's wasting his life. Yeah.
Well, Charlie's in the lockup. Better wake him up. Make sure he gets to work before he gets fired again.
Boy, didn't I tell you not to hang out with Charlie?
Mark, it's you, buddy.
Okay, so my reason: a priest, a cop, a drunk, and a rock star all walk into a bowling alley together. Stop me if you've heard this one.
Nice.
So the bounty hunters, they, as we established, can turn into different people here. One is clearly affixed on this rock star image. The other one, he finds the dead cop and he turns into him, and his face is all gnarly and stuff. So then they stop by a church and he turns into the priest, and then they go over to the bowling alley where he morphs into Charlie. And just that whole them in the bowling alley sequence is just wonderful. Yeah. They just walk in, they're like, have no idea what bowling is, no one understands what they are. Guy picks up one of the balls, just looks at it, palms the bowling ball. Doesn't stick his fingers in it, he palms it, picks it up, and just shoots it down the aisle, breaking the pins. I think somebody says, what team are they on? And then just, they don't really like the establishment, so they just start shooting it up there. So,
understandable.
Yeah. It wasn't their bowling night, so, they got a little miffed.
What do you mean you don't have skee ball in here? Exactly. Let's burn this joker down.
They wanted to play whack-a-mole, but they couldn't find the krites there. So.
Yeah, and that whole sequence is great. I was going to point out, while Lee is shooting the TV with his giant cannon thing, the bartender is breaking a baseball bat over Ugg's head. And it's almost like you don't even notice the guy's breaking a baseball bat. I had to rewind it because the guy had a broken baseball bat. I was like, did they show him swing it? But it's like at the same time, he swings it and hits him in the back of the head, and dude doesn't react at all. So, I mean, I don't know, they almost missed an opportunity to have him break the bat, but I don't know, it's a great scene. It's kind of Terminator 2. Yeah. Walking into the bar and throwing people around.
And I think one of the witnesses says, they was all dressed up funny like they was from Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually I got the sound clip, and I almost kept that, but I got the sound clip of where that's reported to the overworked sheriff. I think I've got it as shooting up the Bowl-orama.
Yeah, right here.
Now, hold it. I'm not reading you clear, so repeat that, over.
Reverend Miller, Charlie McFadden, and some stranger just shot up the bar at the Bowl-orama Lanes, over.
And of course, that's M. Emmett Walsh who plays the sheriff, and he's great and everything.
Oh, I've got something to tag on to that, because the scene where he's in the bed and he answers the phone, I don't know if you noticed or not, but over on the wall there's like a newspaper cutout of Dolly Parton on the wall.
Oh, God.
I mean, just so random, because it's not like a little bitty picture frame. It's just like, you know what, this wall's needing something. How about a picture of Dolly Parton? Here's one in the magazine, and it's just sticking on the wall.
I thought you were going to say there was a horse in bed with him, like in Airplane, but that's almost funnier. I can't see M. Emmett Walsh in anything without thinking about Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona,
where he's working in that.
He's got
steel
the sandwich
foundry.
in one hand.
No, not Bill Parker, that mother scratcher. No, Bill Purston.
Yeah, man. Oh, we got to do Raising Arizona.
It's a great movie.
So, M. Emmett Walsh, he has a thing about doing movies with bounty hunters, I tell you.
Hey, that's a good point. Was I kind of piggybacked on the end of yours by mentioning that about M. Emmett Walsh, but my next reason is the cop car in reverse, man. Like, so the bounty hunters are like,
Yes.
they take the deputy's car because he's been all lit up, and they're like, well, too bad, and they're just ripping the console apart. And the dispatcher's on the radio talking to him, and they get annoyed with that, so they tear that off. And one of them's got his hand on the shotgun that's in the holder there, and then the other one manages to get the car started
for safety.
Yeah, it's in the rack, so it's locked in there, and so he throws it in reverse and starts it somehow and backs up over the curb, and the shotgun goes off and shoots the roof of the car, and then I guess they can't figure out what they did exactly, so they just drive the Joker in reverse. And they just reverse it into town, man.
All the scenes with these guys are great because they don't know how to work any of the technology because it's either just so old-fashioned or whatever, but every scene with I'm sorry, it makes the movies. I mean, I know it's critters and it's about those creatures, but the bounty hunters just trying to go from place to place and deal with this stuff's just hilarious.
Well, it's a whole package.
Yeah. I mean, going into the church and just kicking the door down and go, "We're here for the Krites." And they're going, okay.
Well, and you get a little allusion to that by the guy who hires him, who's like, and I'm giving you all the information you need so that you can be discreet. I don't want to see damage like the last time and they just cut him off. So you get the feeling they're like, we'll get down there, we'll say, hey, where are the Krites to everybody we see, until somebody says, I saw some Krites, and then go get them. And it works. All right, so that was me. Rick, what's your next reason?
I'm almost out, but I will say I've got a couple here. We covered some of them. Toilet critter. I mean, we got that. We got a cat named Chewy. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
And you get the
but how about the critters?
Might be.
How about the critters when they fly away in the ship and they come over and they just blow the house up? They just start laughing.
Yeah, I got it right here. Critters blowing up the farmhouse for spite. I mean, 'cause they're free. They really don't have any reason to, but they blow up that ship. They blow up that house.
And then they laugh, just like...
They're bad dudes.
I mean, they were about to leave. They're on their way out. They've won. And they're just like, you know what? We're just going to make them homeless just for the heck of it.
Yeah. That's the last thing I got is just the blowing up of the house.
They're kind of like, if you've seen Lilo and Stitch, they're kind of like Stitch, only they also like eviscerate people.
Right.
Mark, what do you have?
Okay, so we mentioned the Chewy cat, and for the record, the cat named Chewy does live through the movie, so don't expect him to get eaten there. I'd have to say, when Brad finds the bounty hunters in the cop car, that was a good scene because he's run out of the house, he's escaped, he's gone to get help. He finds the cop car, he gets him to stop, jumps in and starts, telling him the story, and then realizes they're not cops. One of them looks like Charlie. The other one he recognizes as a rock star, and he's like, what's going on here? And it just really made me think, really soak that in for a moment. Your family's being attacked by wild animals. You run out to get help. You find what you think are cops, and inside the cop car is your drunk uncle who doesn't do anything right, and Van Halen.
Johnny Steele.
And
that should have been playing on the radio, man.
Yeah. I mean, how do you wrap your mind around that?
That's right.
I love this kid because he's the typical 80s foul-mouthed kid from a movie, too. Like he's dropping the S-bomb. He's yelling at his sister. I just love him. And I agree with you. He handles the situation as well as you could expect.
And I'm glad you brought that up, too, because it does. They do a good job of establishing his character real early on, because his slingshot gets broken, and Charlie fixes it, and they're testing it out, and Charlie accidentally shoots his sister in the behind with the slingshot, and instantly Brad grabs the slingshot out of his hand and just runs because he realizes Charlie will get fired if he gets caught with it. So he's willing to take the heat for his friend there. So I just thought that was a really great little scene there.
Brad? Is that his name? Brad?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good character. I mean, I've got a couple of sound bites of him lying to his dad, but they're not necessary. I got them because they were kind of funny. You know, one of them, he tries to plead the Fifth Amendment, and his dad says, "This isn't a democracy." Yeah.
Right.
I think that's great. I think it's good writing. And then there's another one where, you know, his dad catches him in a tree and he's like, "The earthquake shook me out of my room."
Shook me out of here in the tree.
And
It
his
was
dad's
amazing.
like, "Cut the bull. Come on, let's go." I mean, it's just a really likable family.
And when
Kind of like Poltergeist.
And when he climbed down from that tree,
very much.
when he climbed down from that tree too, his dad just looked at him and said, "Looks like you've done that a couple of times."
Uh-huh. It's funny you bring up Poltergeist because to me the ending of this movie is a reverse Poltergeist.
Yeah.
The way Poltergeist ends is right opposite of the way this movie ends.
I only have, I mean, yeah, just like I've got like two more things to say about it. Mark, what do you got?
Let's see.
Just 24 more, that's all.
Not that much.
I'm going to name every critter right now.
There was Toilet Critter. There was Yappy Critter.
Guy.
There was Hat Guy. There was Stairway Guy. There was this guy. No, I kind of like what you were saying about the ending there. I have the Alien Easy button fixes the house.
Man, yeah.
The aliens give him this little communication device, like, you know, call us if you ever need us. And they get back to their house, which has been destroyed, and the button on the little device is blinking, so he just presses it. And then their house just reforms right up to the curtains going back up. I mean, so...
It sucks the cat back in, and the cat's like somewhere hiding behind a basket or something in there.
I think they found him in the mailbox.
Yeah, he's in the mailbox.
It's like with the ease that Kreitz can destroy, bounty hunters can rebuild. That doesn't make any sense.
I guess you have
Boba Fett built my house.
It'll make for a great commercial, though.
Well, they kind of
the Alien Easy button.
They got to establish that they're very destructive people, so I guess they have to have that kind of insurance on. So, deja vu. It's back on you.
It's back on you.
So I've got to say, I love the montage of Kreitz doing things.
Yes.
Tearing up pillows and fighting over stuff and like, I mean, it's every bit of Gremlins.
Yep.
Right? I mean, it's 100% Gremlins doing hokey stuff, and I love it. It's just a little montage of them cutting loose, like they were ever, you know, proper and prim, but still.
One of them eats E.T.
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, what's your name?"
Yeah, so he's like trying to communicate with him. He's like, "Yeah, hey, what's up? You're an alien too. What's happening? Okay, you're not going to say anything?"
And then the only other thing I've got is I love the fact that Sheriff Hal rolls up his windows. Like when it looks like stuff's going to go bad, when he pushes the button and the wind picks up, the sheriff rolls up his windows and starts to start the car like, "I got to get out of here and leave this family."
Getting out of here.
I love it. And that's all I got, really. That's it.
Rating time.
All right, we're going to give this movie a rating. Danny, what do you rate this mother?
I'm going to give this 10 Kreitz. Because I'm gonna give a shout out to the two that got killed because they ate too much at the beginning of the movie.
All right,
I'll give this 2 phallic hand cannons that extend.
Love it.
And I'm going to give it 473 powers of the night. Yeah, you can feel it.
Streets are calling. And I guess we need to do remake or no, right?
In our opinion, no.
I'm inclined to agree. It doesn't seem like nowadays, like, developing human characters is what movies do well. They do
Right.
special effects well. The special effects in this were fine.
Yeah, we don't need CGI critters, really. We don't.
And really, like, creating characters that, are just there to get killed in nasty ways, as Sir Robin would say. I just don't think it's necessary, so I say no as well.
Well, I'm kind of on the fence on this one because it's a good movie, but, there is room for improvement on there. And if done right, then, yeah, I think a remake could do very well. It's just, I've seen what Hollywood's been doing with remakes lately, so I don't have much faith in them. So we have to get some people who really love the material to redo it if they're going to redo it.
Yeah. And I think we all three agree with that. I think it could be, there is room for improvement, but those are not the things they would improve on. They would mess with the rest of it that actually makes it awesome. So that's why it hurts it. So it's a no.
I hear what you're saying. I do. I mean, but I think you could say that about anything. If it was done right, it would be great. But I don't think it would be done right.
Yeah. The laws of average say that wouldn't happen.
There would be more explosions and a whole lot more critters, and probably there would be some Marines in there. Maybe if they named them all and all the critters did have different personalities, that would be an interesting take. Maybe they could have the whole thing from the critters' point of view.
Yeah.
They could have.
I like Smokey Critter.
They could have Billy Zane come back to reprise his role, except now he's like in his 50s and he's dating this teenage girl.
Hey,
what if they brought him back?
Go to the barn. Yeah.
What if they brought him back though, and he was like, it's kind of like an American Werewolf. When he comes back, he's not really dead because he can't die till you kill all the critters. He's just this like lump of hamburger meat sitting over there going, hey, I'm Billy Zane. I can't die till you kill all the critters.
Wasn't that what he played in Demon Knight?
Pretty close.
Somebody please find that last critter.
and I got to give a shout out to the end of this movie, which I think we forgot to mention, but we were all thinking of the end question mark, right? Because at the end of this, they find little eggs in the untouched barn.
And then the black glove comes in with Ming's ring on it, picks one of the eggs up.
Just like that. Whoosh.
And I think that's it for all of our, canned little ideas to do about movies.
All right.
What does Brian Blessed think of this movie?
Brian Blessed, what do you think of the 1986 classic Critters?
Shut up! Will you shut up?
All right. He must be busy or something.
He's tired. Did you feed him dinner?
No.
He eats like a whole plate of ham.
Yeah, he could eat a whole Billy Zane right now. All right, folks, we'll be right back.
That's going to be my new thing there. I'm so hungry I could eat a Billy Zane. Gentlemen, we have a situation. The Krites have escaped the maximum security asteroid, and we need you, the advanced galactic god, to stop them. No problem, sir. Tell us about these Krites. They are a violent, sadistic eating machine. They are also fuzzy balls. How's that again? Fuzzy balls. Big, round, fuzzy balls. I have a pair of fuzzy balls right here. Oh God, don't show me. We originally had 10 fuzzy balls, but 2 had to be taken out, oh God. But while those 2 fuzzy balls are just lying here on the table for all to see, 8 more fuzzy balls are out there. That's 4 pair of fuzzy balls in people's faces. Can we not call them handle my fuzzy balls? What? I need you to take them in hand and handle them. Handle my fuzzy balls before they grow too big and get too wild. Stuff my fuzzy balls back in the penal system. I want you to handle my fuzzy balls. I need you to handle my fuzzy balls. I'm not very comfortable with this assignment. Are you saying you can't handle my fuzzy balls? Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do that. Say it. What? Say it. I can't handle your fuzzy balls. Very well. We'll get the bounty hunters to handle this one. I want you to go after another species. The rods. The rods are large and smooth-headed. Okay, that's it. I quit.
Okie doke, everybody. That's going to do it for this episode. Hey, I don't know about y'all, but we had an absolute blast with this. You're probably going to hate this show because we're laughing way too much at stuff that's not funny. But, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We are enjoying being together, and that's the fun of all this thing. So you can be along with us, too, if you want. So we're going to have a contest and, just have somebody add a new person to the show every week. I mean, but they keep coming back. They don't stop. We just keep adding a new person every week. And the goal is to get up to as many people as we have episodes.
What do you mean? You mean new listeners or
No, bringing people on the show, new co-host. The only show with 67 co-hosts. And we could use that tagline every week.
The only show with 68 co-hosts.
Right.
The only show with 69.
It's like Keith Moon with his drum set, right? He just kept adding one more drum to it. No, man, this has been a blast. I've really enjoyed getting together. We missed each other here for the last couple of weeks, so this is good to get back together. So you're probably hearing a lot of nonsense on here that we would normally cut out, but hey, it's fun. On top of that, we want to talk about the awesome critters, man. I highly recommend it. I think if you haven't seen it, you should just jump off a cliff or something because you're missing an important part of your life.
I think what Rick meant to say is the point of this show is to get people to watch these movies. So if you haven't watched it, go out and watch it rather than commit suicide.
That's what I meant.
And I'm going to say that when I saw this movie, I was much younger. And I remember it being a really, really scary. I remember the critters being these just unstoppable. I remember there being hundreds of them. So, I mean, it left this impression to me. When I went and revisited it, it's every bit as good a movie, but it's a totally different movie that I remember. So,
sure,
I could have been disappointed, but it was done so well.
Because there's only 7 of them. There's Sleepy, Dopey, Doc, Happy, Toilet.
There's Druggo. Yeah.
Billy Zane.
Zane. There's Clorox. There's Baby Driver. There's Stanley.
Stanley.
Hail Ming.
All right, folks. I think we need to get out of this before we just cause more damage.
And don't forget, this all takes place at night, and it's the night that brings Charlie.
Ooh.
It's the power of the night.
Yes.
We are the heat, the flame is desire.
That's it. Oh, here's the transforming.
Hold on till the end.
Here we go. Yeah.
Streets are calling, stealing from the light.
That's some lyrics.
It's the power of the night. Streets are calling.
The whispers in the background sounds like somebody's taking a dump.
The pale light of the moon.
I like it when they get that one keyboard key that the guy's like playing as a percussion instrument there at the end.
Right.
I listened to it for a while, man. Power of the Night's my new jam.
That's right. And it should be yours, too.
I've got a one-word review for Power of the Night, and that's damn.
Hail Ming.
All right, with that, I think we ought to end the show. Oh, man, this has been a blast. Hey, everybody, don't forget to check us out. Don't forget to give a rating on iTunes, all that kind of good stuff. If you got ideas for shows you want us to cover, give us a shout and we'll ignore you. And we're just having a whole lot of fun. So for me, I'm outie. What about you guys? We'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
That's
gone.
Gone.
Out.
Let's get the Billy Zane out of here. All right, just like that.
And as for me, I'm out. What about you guys?
No, I'm going to stick
do I say
around a
I'm
while.
out too, or are we already out? I don't. There are some who say the movie Critters is all about a family in need of some help and being there for each other in a time of danger. There are some who say it represents the danger that comes in small packages, little monsters and aliens and such. There are still others who believe it's about a small town and what happens when alien forces come in and affect a small town way of life. But all these people are wrong, because there's only one thing the movie Critters is about. That's badass aliens coming from the other side of the galaxy to kill Krites, and coming down to Earth and asking, where are the Krites? Because we would like to kill them. As always, we're glad that you spent this time with us, and we're glad that we got to kill some Krites together. So remember to keep on listening, and always remember that actions speak louder than catchphrases. Good night, loyal minions. Till next time.
Members of the audience will receive the following: classic curves by Dittos, the pants for Feel Good Company, a gift certificate from Maru-chan Ramen Noodles, Rice-A-Roni. All guests receive a copy of the Ming home game. Thanks to the creative minds and special appearances of Mark Allison, Jeremy Finch, and Jacob Kennedy. Hail Ming is a proud member of Legion Podcasts. Check out all the great shows at legionpodcast.com. Hail Ming is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Legion Podcast. This is Dan Pardo saying good night.
We are going to empty your memory.
Demon of the Black.
Should we stop the torture?